Hi gamers, SFG here, and apologies, it's been a little while since we've, I'll say seen each other, you know what I mean, since I've done a video. Yeah, it's been a bit manic, guys, to be honest. The family's been a bit poorly, and apart from me, I've been okay, but I've obviously had to look after the rest of them, so it's been a bit tiring, to be honest, and not so much time to record the old videos, but this is something, we're looking at Shadows of Forbidden Gods again, and this is a topic that I've wanted done for quite some time. I've not really had a massive play with these, but there's some huge changes coming in the beta, guys, and I wanted to cover them just as a bit of a preview for you in this video. So real quick, Shadows of Forbidden Gods is a almost reversed grand strategy game where you play as an evil god trying to take over and destroy the world and undo the lands of men, and well, currently it's just men really. There's orcs, there's deep ones, but they help you. It's in early access, it's always getting developed, and the features that are added to the game are just... the developer throws these things in as if they're nothing. Like, oh, by the way, I just added, bam, huge feature. And it seems to happen time and time again. I think this is probably the biggest one where this has ever happened, and it's real big, guys. So this is a preview video. This isn't released in the normal game, as it were, yet, and it's still under development. This particular feature is very much in development. You'll see that as we go through it. But we're talking about holy orders, guys. So, in brief, and before we get into this proper, we have nations, various nations of the world, as we know if you've seen any videos before of me playing this game, and they have various feelings about each other and so on, and they can interact with each other and what have you, but it felt a little bit, not superficial, but fairly surface level. What the developer Bobby Two Hands has added is these holy orders that can be cross-nation. They can be a nation in and of themselves, and as the name implies, they are formed around a religion. And what you could do as the god, as the player, is you can mess with that religion. You can change it to suit your own ends. You can twist and manipulate it so that it does things that you want it to do, or doesn't do things that you don't want it to do. And counterpoint to that, the humans, the heroes as it were, could fight back against this and try and make the religion more suited to their needs. It's really interesting, guys. So we're going to jump in this now. We'll start a new game here. This is in the beta branch. If you don't know how to get this, you need to go into properties in your Steam menu and then click on the betas tab, and it will bring an option of a couple. You just want the standard beta build. Don't put the previous one, because that'll be the previous beta build, which is generally used for people that are playing a current game. This isn't going to be compatible with the general games. If you're in the middle of a game on your main game, as it were, and you haven't got the beta, you won't be able to load that save into this. Okay, so just be careful of that, guys. We're going to pick Ophanim because obviously, you know, I'm not being funny, but when you talk about religion, Ophanim is the go-to of the gods, I think. The faith, etc. And I wonder actually if that will change. But anyway, I digress. Random world as always. We'll leave it on a small C just to... No, actually we won't. We'll crank this up to 50 by 50. Let's give you a bit more stuff to see here. We're going to go into the advanced options. This is all the standard stuff. We've seen this. This is all the standard stuff. Always shuffle the map generation. We like that. Oh, mid-challenge has been changed, but I'll talk about that probably in the patch notes. So here we are, the last page. Holy orders. So we can enable them or disable them. Obviously, I'm going to have them on for this. And then you can have this. Orders dominate. Every human location created when the map is generated will follow a holy order, right? You don't have to do it. I'm going to take this off, actually, but... Well, you'll see. What happens if this is selected is, like it says there, every single human location will follow one of the various holy orders. And holy's a bit... They ain't all holy, right? Some of them... Oh, my word. I didn't realise there's another page. Some of them, we'll come on to that in a second. Some of them aren't necessarily holy. Like witches are now a holy, in inverted commas, order, right? So they can obviously... Not the most holy of peeps at times. But they're almost like your... I think they're designed to be like your god's holy order. You can manipulate them easier, they're more easily swayed, and you can kind of have them follow what you want, but they tend to be weaker. They're crazy, guys, these holy orders. Human responses, conclaves. Oh, I want conclaves. Hells yeah. Magical arms race, we know what this is. Military escort. Okay, oh, that's good. You could choose to have any of these on or off as you wish. So you could just turn that off and go crazy with the whole magical stuff if you wanted to. And they won't be able to do anything against you, presumably. That's interesting. Anyway, we're going to start this now, guys. See how we get on. Go away, hints. So we start the game. It's a bit, I've got to be honest, the thing that I like least about this is probably the UI around it. So it's a bit scruffy in terms of accessing these holy sites, how you see them, how you look at them. Like at a glance look, you can't really see where they are. You know, I can see there's magic going off here, I can see there's orcs up here, even from that angle, but from this range rather, but I can't really see where the holy orders are. And so what you need to do is you press button F6, which will pull up the holy orders view. And you can see the different holy orders. If you click on anywhere off the map, you can see them here. So we've got the Convocation of Zin Hanan, the Monkhood of Dawn, the Monkhood of Purity, and you can see there if I hover over or click them. Oops, it'll go into this. Didn't mean to do that, 1 second. But look, it'll show you exactly where they're based. The Convocation of Zin Hanan is fairly substantial. The Monkhood of Dawn is up to the north and mid there. The Monkhood of Purity is here. Oh, it's got a little bit over on the west there. Primarily on this middle section of the map. And then we've got the Zhangxi Circle, which is the witches. And as you can see, they're weak, right? There's only 1, 2, 3 locations of them. With them, rather. Now, these don't necessarily... I wonder if the Convocation of Zin Hanan is an actual nation order. Let's go off that 1 second. As I say, as you can see, guys, it's a bit... I think it is, look. Queendom of Tiao, maybe not. Ah, here it is. It is a nation. Capital of Convocation of Zin Hanan. So that, like I said earlier, these can actually have nations in and of themselves, right? They don't have to be. They can still spread their religion to other nations. Like this one, I think, will follow. There you are, Convocation of Zin Hanan. You can click that to go to it. That's actually an improvement. This wasn't in the last time I played this. But they can also be nation states in and of themselves, right? Which is quite interesting. I wish I could see. I wish if I could see these at a glance, like which were the nations that were holy orders and which were not. Oh, the Monkhood of Dawn, that's fairly obvious. Got a couple. Kingdom of Longdu. Do we have another one? No, don't look like we have. The other one hasn't managed to form its own nation. Queendom of Loon. No, so the other one hasn't managed to form its own nation. And obviously, as we could see, the witches haven't either. So, let's click on the witches coven, because I think that's probably the best place to start here. The Jiangxi Circle. So you click on any coven, click on this, or you press F6, oops, hold up, F6, and then you can click on one of these buttons, take you to it too, as I did earlier. Ideally, that should be probably changed now, so it's, it just shows you where the locations are, right? But we'll click on this. Lovely art in the background there, Jiangxi Circle. So it gives you a bit of we can rename them. So I can call it, you know, witches, bitches, right? Or whatever, you know, whatever name you like. So the holy order's behaviours are determined by, and you can do this for any of them, by the way, if it's easy to keep track with your own names. If you've got a particular flavour you'd like to do, like, you know, let's actually, perhaps more apt would be Brides of Ophanim, right? Oops, forgot the H. So we can rename them, as you see. And it gives you a bit of information here in the middle there in terms of how they work. So Holy Order's behaviours are determined by the tenets of their faith. Humanity and the elder powers can influence these by taking over locations of faith or by performing challenges. Okay? So their behaviour is determined by tenets. The tenets are here. We'll come on to these shortly. And you can influence the tenets by gaining influence points, if you like. And here's the influence points, and you need to get 160 to influence them first. When your influence is full, you may influence the tenets to cause Holy Order to take up a given behaviour, or to stop it, or to change it, right? So if they're doing something, you can make them stop doing it. If they're not doing something, you can make them start, etc. The tenets on this page are the structural ones. Other than corruption, they are not inherently beneficial to either human or elder powers, but rather affect the type of religion the Holy Order is. Okay, so as you can see here, there's these various tenets here, right? These are structural tenets, and they will give, well, first off is the alignment, so whether they're neutral, as you can see in Earth, whether they're positive towards humanity, which will be 1, 2, or 3, or whether they're negative towards humanity, positive towards a player, the god, which is negative 1, 2, and 3. And obviously the higher the number, or lower the number in the case of the negative values, the more they have a preference towards doing either evil things or, you know, good things, as it were, right? A negative, as it says there, negative values in this will cause acolytes to gain shadow over time. Acolytes are like specific heroes that act only for the Holy Order. Okay, they're the only ones in there now, and I've seen some suggestions about maybe doing some other things with heroes in relation to this, but currently they're the only, they act literally just as the Holy Order dictates. So if you make them temple builders, right, the next one here, you can see this, they will start to try and build temples as and when they can. Okay, and then these other structural things are to do with literally the creation, if you like, of the Holy Order, how it works, how it operates. So you can have them build temples. Temples will acolytes will then try and establish temples in various locations. Once they have enough gold, we'll come on to the gold in a second. Temples can be used to do a number of challenges. It also increases the I believe it increases the chance of a location accepting that religion. You can have them preachers, where acolytes will preach and try and attempt to actively spread their faith to other locations when they gain enough gold. You can have them be dogmatic, which makes it much more difficult to change the Holy Order's current tenets that are, well, all of them actually. So it makes them more rigid, okay, which makes them more difficult to influence for both the humans and the player. And then you can have here an intransigent faith. I thought it was intransigent. Pronunciation. Anyway, which basically means they're going to be more likely to be not accepting of other faiths, right? They'll try and either kill heroes and rulers that are associated with other faiths, or start war on other members of other faiths, okay? And these are structural ones. Generally, the first thing you want to try and do is change the alignment to negative something, so they're starting to get shadow, they're starting to work more for you. The more shadow on their members, on their acolytes, the more influence you'll gain over time. Okay, and you can see here the acolytes have got three worshippers, of which rulers none. So they've got three acolytes that are also worshippers, right? They've got no profit. So let's just follow this through down in a second. Just follow the basic information here. Alignment is special in that it must be negative for you to cause dark behaviours in the Holy Order. So in order for you to influence them to, I don't know, spread shadow or remove wards, they must have a negative alignment, okay? Which makes sense, right? They've got to be aligned to something evil or dark. Preaching causes the faith to spread to human settlements, which is needed for many of the non-structural tenets to be performed. As it says here, temples are special buildings created by the Order which can have powerful effects if certain tenets are in effect. So things can happen from temples or at temples that are very beneficial to the player, or negative actually. Preaching causes the faith to grow, but smaller faiths are easy to influence. So this is a small faith, the Brides of Ophanim, right? They're tiny, they've only got 3 acolytes, 3 locations, and what have you, they're fairly small. Let's have a quick look at the other. So this is a larger look. You can see this is a much larger religion, the Monkhood of Purity here. Acolytes 3, worshippers 23, of which rulers 14. Much larger. You'll see they also have probably a much larger budget, and they are, my word, +3 towards humans. They're also temple builders, and they're also preachers. So this is a faith, look, that's actively spreading itself. They're actively building temples. They're getting more money because they've got more people that support them. Look, income. 17, gold from acolytes is X. Gold from conversions is this. 4 conversions, forgive me. So gold to make new acolytes. So when they get to 400, they'll be able to make a new acolyte. When they've surpassed the level they need to convert another location, so they'll be doing that soon, I suspect. This is the gold your acolytes spend from the locations. And the gold for temples there, as you can see. Once they reach 250, they'll try and build a temple, the acolytes. Income source is worshipping rulers 14, acolytes 3, from reserves nothing. So when you put money into a religion, it will slowly filter out. I think it says that somewhere. Into the rest of the order, like per turn. It won't just immediately go in their bank, as it were. In fact, let's just read this. Holy Orders gain, and I'll probably section this out so you can see different sections, guys. Holy Orders gain gold from their agents, termed acolytes, from rulers in locations they've spread their faith to, and from donations. Donations go into their reserves and are paid out slowly, as I said. Holy Orders spread their income between their different expenses. They can recruit more acolytes, very useful. They can pay for preaching to convert new locations, or take locations from other Holy Orders, or pay for temples. Strength of tenets for preaching and building temples will affect the proportion of the budget that will go to each cause. Okay? So depending on their tenets, it will affect how much of their money they spend on that thing, right? Building temples, making acolytes, etc. Recruitment, preaching, and temple construction increases, the Holy Order grows. Okay, and as you saw at the start here, we need 200 influence to influence the Monkhood of Purity, and the humans are already doing it. We also need to reduce this to 3, to negative something. So we'd have to do 4 times 200, 800 amount of influence to even start really impacting on this religion. Compare that to the witches, our brides here, We only need 160, right? And note the humans need more, so it's harder for the humans to influence these. Let's take a quick look at some of the others. Monkhood of Dawn, same again, 200, 200. Plus 3 again, my word. There's so many worshippers, the money. And the Convocation. 200, 200, yes, that seems to be the standard. For the standard religions, as it were, and they also start at plus 3 as well, which is obviously more difficult to break into. Let's take a quick look at their moral tenets. Let's follow these since we're doing the tenets. We look at the information here. So let's take a look because we've got a live, as it were, religion here. The Convocation of Sin Hanan. So it gives you, first off, it gives you a breakdown there in these structural tenets here, moral tenets. It gives you a breakdown of why you're getting or not getting any influence. So percentage of faithful people enshadowed, percentage of faithful settlements infiltrated, and seat, which is their like capital, if you like. Percentage infiltrated, okay, and all these things will gain you influence over time. You can also do challenges to get influence as well. And then there's a human influence. Percentage of faithful rulers aware and non-enshadowed, okay. That will increase immediately, by the way, at 0 because it's the first term. So these are the moral tenets of this holy order. They determine which types of worship and in religious behaviours the order will engage in, right? In brief, and how its temples will affect the settlements they are in. As it says, again, just to reiterate this, guys, the alignment tenet, this one, the top one, must be negative for you to turn a tenet negative towards the elder powers and cause the order to benefit you, right? So it's the first thing you've got to do if you want to mess with the human ones. Well, or the witches even. Human powers might try to influence the order to stop performing this evil action and to remove your corruption when the influence reaches maximum. Most moral tenets require the order to be the dominant faith in the given settlement for the action to take place. So, alignment, we can see plus 3 towards the humans there. Neutral towards Crusader faith. So this is military, right? They will try and, as you can see, muster militaries, increasing military fervour, which makes locations where their faith is rooted more likely to generate more powerful armies. Abyssal faith, right? So if under human influence, acolytes will spread dislike for deep ones. As elder influence increases, they'll increase liking for deep ones. At maximum, temples will create deep one cults and coastal cities. Very powerful. But obviously need to get to -3. Awareness, oh, this is dangerous. So +1, acolytes of temples of this faith will spread awareness, or remove it if under elder influence. Very powerful if it's for you, but very bad if it's for the humans. This would be something you'd probably want to make at least inert. And you can make it inert, by the way, guys, without having to bring the alignment down to negatives. Okay? Making the alignment to negative here, the top one, is only for negative things for humanity. Healers, love this. Acolytes of this faith will cure plague when under the influence, or spread plague when not. The more evil they are, which is kind of funny. Temples will either remove plague or immunity, depending on where they sit on this. Candle circles, it's shadow, right? Sorry, wards, forgive me. So, acolytes and temples will spread ward. Under elder influence, they will remove them. Awesome. Funerary rites is related to death. They perform rituals to clear death and human soul modifiers. Death will be cleared even outside the order's territory. You can't have that as a negative. As you can see, that could just do nothing, which it's doing currently. Dark worship. So, high levels, acolytes will spread shadow for you from temples. We know this really from witches, right? That's a witch challenge of the past. Prophets of Doom is funny. It spreads madness and unrest. Locations follow the faith. Classic. Iasta 101, really. Safety and ignorance. Acolytes following this tenet will destroy arcane secrets. This is interesting, yes. This is neither particularly good or bad as such, but if they have positive values in this, they will actively seek and destroy arcane secrets, even in locations not following the faith. So this is this is global. And potentially attack mages, depending on how hard this is. So they don't like magic, right? They dislike magic, this tenet. I wish these are ordered in terms of which ones are actually selected, if I'm honest. This and this one should be top. So awareness and so they're funny, they're awareness and they're anti-magic. Charitable works, acolytes of this faith will start reconstruction efforts to reduce devastation. And then the crazy one, music of the outer spheres. Unearthly music plays throughout the night. Temples in human settlements will generate power and madness, but gain menace. So eventually they'll be destroyed, right? The temple. So these are the ones currently, I'm assuming they're going to be added to, guys, because they're so interesting, right? But there could be so much more here. You could have, oh my gosh, you could have things for everything, right? Violent tendencies. You could have... maybe they only build certain buildings, or they destroy certain points of interest. Maybe they go and seek out ruins to try and find some sort of rare artifacts and stuff. So many things could be added into this that I think would be quite interesting. Maybe there's a tenet that is actively combating strong, and I mean strong in terms of might, agents or heroes, right? They're just like gladiators or something. They want to fight. I don't know. I'm just spitting things out here, guys. But you can see already, this is a fair bit different to what. Consider what would happen if we were going for a plague run, and two of the Holy Orders had healers on like +2. It would be super difficult, right? Which makes it very interesting, I think, anyway. And then finally, the prophecy. This is cool. No prophet chosen. Fairly basic at the minute, but this will no doubt be expanded upon. Holy Orders can have prophecies about significant religious figures who will lead them through times of need. These have details about how to recognise a prophet when they appear. The screen lists how many candidates, heroes, acolytes, and agents, right? So you can have people involved in this, or agents involved in this, have made it to each step in the prophecy. You must meet the requirements of the early details to be considered a candidate for later ones. If an agent meets all of the requirements, they will be received as a prophet of this holy order and give a major boost to influence gain per turn. So suddenly you can, if you're a prophet, if you're there, forgive me for using this, but potentially with Jesus, as it were, or Muhammad or what have you, the religion is going to follow you, right? It's going to seriously follow you, and everything your agent suggests. Well, no, your agent's just going to be able to say, right, I think we should now focus on maybe deep ones of the thing. They're actually where we should go, guys. And suddenly the religion's going to start following deep ones, right? Or whatever the case may be. But you can influence these very easily with a prophet. And it says here, if multiple people meet the prophecy's requirements, Holy Order will wait for someone to die until only one candidate remains, right? Quite interesting. So you can kill other candidates, so you're the remaining one, which is probably morally a bit dubious, but Holy Order's gonna Holy Order, right? And in this case, we've got these various requirements for the prophet from the east, and this will be cardinal direction from the east, west, north, south, etc. And there's 8 from a holy site. None of them. Wise, law greater than 4, and mastery of magic. So they need to be a law plus magic spellcaster from a holy site. That's going to be difficult, right? Really, you're gonna have to build someone for this, I think, in terms of the player, because you can't summon a law agent, I don't think, at a holy site presently. So, but there can sometimes be prophets, and they will heavily impact on the amount of influence either the humans or you have over the religious order. I've not done this. We can have a look at international relations. You can see this here. I've not looked at this before. Okay, so have they got a beef with any other orders, I wonder? No, just against the orcs for now, which is fair. So what we're going to do, guys, I think I've quickly shown you. Let's just get our old... there's a covenant here. Sweet. Let's do this. Let's use power. We've got fleet of foot yet. No, we haven't. Well, no. Okay. No bother. We're going to take... Yes. Go to here, please. Infiltrate the coven. That will give us more influence over the coven, as we know, right? I'm so glad this wasn't in before, guys, when I played this. This is such a good addition. So much easier. So the bride's away from him. Influence is moral, I believe. Look, so faithful people in shadowed, faithful settlements infiltrated. So once we get one, we'll get more influence just by having that, right? Budget. Diddly squat, just from the 3 acolytes, which is weak. As you can see, it's pittance. So they're in a bit of a bad place financially. We can hopefully fix that for them, guys. So let's get through a few turns. Can I... Hold up, well, no, let's just use power. Sleepless labour this. Get that done, fam. I can't do it again. Who's this? Oh, it's a witch. Oh, sorry, of course. So it's a witch acolyte, right? It's one of the acolytes of the coven. Can we rename these girls too? We can, because that is unpronounceable to me. Witch, behave. With witch. Witch Laurel, let's accept that here. There we go. So she's going to go about doing things. Basic worship, doesn't do much, but just something to do. But she's going to go around and she wants to destroy an arcane secret. Curious. But look, these are all her actions. Tempted to, that may behave. Dangerous foe, get out of here. Oh, good, that's a reluctance. But look, these are some of the things that she could do as an acolyte, and there'll be more as we go through those tenets. Oh, I've not seen this before either. Religious tension, brother. Baizan Batonki has spread the influence of the Holy Order convocation in his own hands to the city of Lingjing, replacing monkhood of purity, increasing tension between the orders, may cause violence. To degree which relations is great, pretends to say it's the Holy Orders. Intransigent faith tenet. This faith max is -40. Curious. So there's some beef there already. Opinion swayed, oh my word. Yeah, so he's convinced them to join that religion, which they dislike. Oh my gosh. We've got another one. Flipping heck. You see, and this is... Look how massively impactful this already is on the game. One of the problems I've heard about with this... I think we're going to dismiss that. And we're going to permanently dismiss those. One of the problems I've heard about with this is that the religions are a bit too eager to go to war and kill all of each other, which is obviously not ideal. So look, now we're getting... It's not a lot, I appreciate that, but +2 a turn. Right, so it's something, just tick, 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 carries on. And click on the moral tenets, you can see that's because we've got... Now I could, in theory, get all these, get +6 a turn, which is, again, something, better than nothing. Which I may well do, actually, once we get enough agents. But what I'm going to do for now is I'm going to influence the Holy... Oh, my word, should I defeat? It's command and law. How long does this take? 20 turns. How long does it take with this? Little half it. 10 turns. Still 1, 2. Do I not? No, let's just influence. I'm here to show you the Holy Orders, guys. Apologies. Right, we're going to do that. And I'm going to take... Let's take law because it impacts on this. As you can see, it's command and law that affects the influence Holy Order. Bit of blue, bit of green, right? So let's keep doing that. Somebody's died, not bothered about that. Somebody's away, not bothered about that. Now, once I get this, okay, so here you go, look, influence Holy Order. The brides have voted for him. They've gained 100 points to now 120. I don't think that's enough to influence him just yet. No. 160, but we're getting to a turn. I could just wait and let that happen. Is she trying to preach the faith here? What's the chances of this person being swayed? I wonder. No, she's resting. Okay. Let's do that again. Influence the Holy Order. Oh, a sandstorm, right? Okay. 15 change progress. Oh my goodness. Bit brutal, 15. Come on. This is a problem with opening as well. He's a bit basic to start with, right? Just having one agent for a while. They're very powerful agents, but just one. We'll do command. And now we can influence his order. Again, I think it should just take you there when you can. Look, 160 at 160. We can influence it. Now look, we could change this, right? So, what do we want to do, I wonder? I think we want them to preach. But they're not going to get gold for a long time. Difficult. Or do we want them to morally change? Maybe we should... Yeah, let's do... I can't influence their budget at all yet. No. Almost an acolyte. Let's do the negative so I can start influencing properly. And we'll show you that in a second. So she may now well be more inclined to do unholy things, right? Oh, I'm wasting my turn here. I will do another influence. The dark. What's this? Oh my gosh, look at this artwork, beautiful. I can't tip the scales, I need 1 power. Gutted. That's cool though, I like this. That would give me influence with the dark, which I'm assuming is the witches. What a shame. Yeah, I got power. Alright, Sleeper Slaver, mate. Swift of Foot, another favourite. Or we can make an agent. We're going to absolutely do that. We're going to make, so as you can, it's great as well, guys, because it gives agents that haven't, typically used, let's be honest, command and, intrigue and law, your go-to stats, maybe might if you're going to make a fighter. Now, suddenly, the curse isn't as bad, right? It's got 2 law, 2 command, which can help with, she's obviously basic, but she can cover all the bases. 3 intrigue, though, and 3... Yeah, it's the same equivalent. So maybe Hierophants need a bit of a knock there, but let's make a Hierophant. They could be built anywhere, which is useful. do this. We're going to go for... And of course I get an extra stat, which helps them considerably too. Command. I'm going to infiltrate this coven so we start getting more too. We've done that, 110. Let's defeat the Manticore, I think. Use power, Sleeper's Labor, do it. Gotta be careful, we could die. Oh, another faith adopted. Obviously if at the start I'd selected for Holy Orders Dominate, every human settlement would have been a member of one Holy Order, which is likely going to be the human ones, right? It's very unlikely to be ours, which is a bit of a shame. Taking it, thank you. Nice. Some stats, why not? No influence the Holy Order again. This coven is actually in one of the worst places I've ever seen. It's got one village. That's all that can influence a village. Awful. Awful. I need this to change as well. Is there a way? No, it takes me to... I want to know how quickly this person is going to become. Doesn't tell me. How quickly they're going to become part of our faith. The Brides of Ophanim. It's a great faith. Oh, raised rent. Oh, there's something here I need to talk about actually, guys. So, events have changed actually, I believe, in the beta as well, so that you can't avoid them anymore at all, right? In the past, if you did an event challenge that took 10 turns or less, you would never get an event. You could do 50 of them, you could do 50 challenges, 10 turns or less, you'd never get an event. Now, the game remembers if you've done a 10 turn, challenge, and potentially you'll get one when you start the next challenge. It's not as... The reason I'm saying potentially is because I think it's looking to see 8 turns, but it randomly goes up between 0 and 2. So you could get 2 progress towards seeing a challenge, or you could get nothing, of course, right? But the point is, you can't now avoid challenges by completing tasks. You can't avoid events by completing challenges quickly, which I love, by the way, right? I think that's so cool because I love the challenge. I love the events. I love everything about them. This is a fan one. Lose 5 minutes. No, we ain't got enough minutes. But I'll take it. It's only 3 change progress difference. Morning. Their relationship improves. Not bothered about that. Okay, we're not bothered about that. Go to you. Influence Holy Order. Now we can double influence, right? So this is going to kick off big time. So we've got 160. Let's change the order again. Look. So, excuse me. We can make the alignment even more negative, which will cause the acolytes to gain over time, which will help us gain more influence over time. Oops. Let me get out of that a second. So look, if I go to the moral, faithful settlements infiltrated +5. Oh, interesting. So I might want to do another one. I might get even more. Well, I will get more, but I wonder if I'll get like 10. Like it'll go up significantly, which is curious. That might be worth doing. But as I say, if they've got negative alignments here, they'll start, all the acolytes will start gaining shadow, which will give me even more influence again, just base, without having to do anything. But I think the tick is a little slow. Fly, where I could do 100 in challenge. It's difficult. I wonder, what are they gaining over time presently? What's her shadow at? 25. Okay, not bad. I think I should do this. There's only 3 I know, but let's give it one more negative. Minus +2 towards me, as it were, and -2. That's confusing. Right, but whatever. We'll gain a bit more shadow, and then hopefully we'll gain more ticking, and then I can do actual things with these guys. We're going to keep influencing the order. Have I got? Where's the next? It's in the middle somewhere. It's here, isn't it? Close to this Hierophant. Okay. 135. Look already. Oh, raised rent. Okay, we're gonna have to refuse the extortion. We have no cashish. The relationship improves. Not happy about that. Go on, infiltrate the village, man. We need to do some actual game here. Intrigue. Oh, a rowdy tavern. Classic. The old cat ears. Where are they? There she is. If you saw her. Dinner of laughter, blah, blah, blah. 20 profile. Oh, game 5 goals. Sweet. 160 already. Go to. She sees great. Good for her. Lovely job. Influence the Holy Order. You're going to gain... Let's gain law. Because it helps with this challenge. I'm going to click on the coven. Influence it again. Right. So now we're going to do some moral tenets. This is where the real meat and potatoes of this is, guys. So this is where you can actually make the faith do things that are beneficial for you. So we could, if we're going in deep ones, we could have them spread deep ones. If we're going to awareness, we could have them negatively affect awareness, remove it for us. We could have them, which I'm quite tempted by the way, that's a very strong. We could have them help us spread plague. We could have them remove wards. You know, you can see we could have them keep death. There's such a variety here. I wonder. Let's pick shadow, right? Oh, but it's only at, the thing is, it's only at temples, which I dislike. We haven't got any temples, so for them it might be a bit pointless. Perhaps a better option is to do. Remove wards, I think. Sounds quite tasty. And each, so we have 3. Which one is it? 8, isn't it, to see the view heroes? The hero view, 8. So look, you can see here the various the heroes rather, and you can see, including, if you press 8, you can see the witches. Which there? I wish they're in a better order. This is awful. Like, they should be in maybe order of where they belong, perhaps, right? So, you know, all the witches are grouped together. There's 2 of them here, but there's a third. So, rest and resupply, basic worship. Those do nothing for us. Rest and resupply, right? So, they're not currently doing anything. We click on one of these, though. We can see this is their challenges and how likely they are to do it and why. They're just resting and worshipping right now. They currently don't have a massive, but they should. Remove ward should start to pop up here as. Oh, I wish this should be higher too. Not holy task. How do we preach? Where's their preaching? Can't see it. That's just literally just praying, as it were. Increase. I think all these are neutral. This should change as we do. Skip a turn, see if we get. No, I cannot see the ward removal. So obviously it's very early, guys. There might be some things that aren't actually happening quite, or aren't happening properly rather. Or I could of course make it more negative, or maybe she just can't see any wards to remove, right? But if we carry on here, so let's do a few more turns. She's getting shadowed, nice. I'm not interested in that, but that's good for us because it means more influence. I'm gonna Sleepless Labor you, I think. Yeah, we are. Go to, nice. Now, I think we ought to go to the city too. What's the influence here? 21. Plus 8 a turn, right? You see it's increasing. 8 a turn because of the Enshadowed, I suspect. Faithful people Enshadowed and settlements, right? So we could infiltrate the last settlement, which might not be a bad idea actually. Let's send him up there. Where is it? It's here. Use power, swift of foot. Off you go. Hopefully, just loves to break all the game rules. Continue going there, my friend. There he is. Let's infiltrate rather the Holy Coven. The Coven, forgive me. Got to 160 now, thanks to our Hierophant. We can influence this order again. Let's make them, let's have a look at this. Acolytes and temples, right? So definitely acolytes can do it too. Let's put it down even more. So they're going to straight remove wards if they see them, which is going to be good. They might be doing it too fast for me to keep track of, to be honest, guys. Let's have a look how we get on now. See if there's any wards popping up. The sun begins to set shadows spreading. We like it. We like it a lot. Void license. Okay, banish them. There's 2 health. Why not? Well done. Infiltrate the coven. Nice. That's more. Let's see how much we get now, actually. So we've infiltrated all of them, plus 10 a turn. Whoops. Moral. Yeah, so plus 8. So it's plus 3, plus 2, then plus another 3, right? I guess. So plus 2, plus 3, plus, I think, plus 3. Wouldn't mind if that was a bit more. Plus 5 for the last one, perhaps. And we're getting a little bit because of the in-shadow people. I assume it's 1 per person. What shall we do now? So we've got the alarm. Let's influence it. They're almost all shadowed anyway. I feel like, budget-wise, oh, we've got a 4th Acolyte, sweet. Right, let's do some, I think it's time to spread structural tenets. Preach. Preach it. Do it, preach it. So let's do some more influencing. And let's do some more influencing here too. Lose 1 half, we can afford it. Ward created where? Oops. That was utterly the wrong thing to click. Wards established, go to. Now, let's see if my girl is going to potentially try and get rid. Preaching the faith, yes, good. Preach it. Where's destroy ward? Basic worship, you're such a basic worshipper. Kind of worried they're quite keen to attack my supplicant. That's not cool. Oh, another thing to mention, guys. You don't, I don't know if you're aware of this, if you've been looking at this, but you don't gain much in the way of many sub-profile for interacting with these either. Like, look, it doesn't give you anything for influencing Holy Order. No profile, no menace. You can do, oh, this is another thing you do, False Miracle, which also gives you influence, but it costs you power, and it costs obviously time, so it's a bit stink. Not a massive fan of that when you can scan 100, right, or 142. Doesn't seem worth it to me. Not yet anyway, obviously all these numbers can be tweaked. So what I think I'll do, guys, let's close it there, and I'm going to try and just get this coven really super evil, and then we'll cut back when it's a bit more developed. In fact, I'll break this video into 2 parts. I'll do another second part later where I'll cover more advanced Holy Orders. Hopefully it's been a good introduction. As always, thank you for watching. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. Every subscriber really does help, guys. I'm trying to get to 1,000, so the closer we can get, I really, really do appreciate it. Like I said, the next video, fingers crossed, will be covering the later game Holy Orders, what I think of them, how they interact, and what the general state of them is at the moment. And hopefully I will see you then. Thank you very much for watching.